Welcome back. Today we're going to tie Tim Heng's Autumn Splendor. This is a streamer pattern with probably my favorite color combination, brown and yellow. It just seems to really produce and catch a ton of fish. This thing's been around for a couple of decades. There's a lot of ideas that have come from this, or as it's transitioned. This one, looking at it, it's based off of a woolly bugger platform, but there was a couple of things. I think it's one of the first times where we started seeing the rubber legs in flies and everything on the streamers. I don't know, it's necessarily the first. It's one of the more well-known patterns to introduce the rubber legs, and then it's just taken off from there. So we're going to go ahead and get into this one. Like I said, it's in a brown and yellow today. I'm going to mix up a little bit. I'm going to deviate slightly from some of the commercial ties that you'll see out there, or from the original pattern even. I'm going to stack the tail on this one with a yellow and brown Marabou plumes. I don't know, like I said, that color combination, there's just something about it. It just catches fish. So I'm going to go with this yellow and brown mix. I've got a MFC 7008 size 4. It's a 4X long streamer hook with a gold cone and a couple of wraps of 25 thousandths lead wire, just mainly to stabilize the cone. So, and you can also tie these ones, you can also tie them with a copper cone, copper Flashabou, copper crystal flash, whatever you use. I just pair those two up, but I'm going with gold on this one today. And then we're going to take and measure I'm trying to remember if I turned my microphone on or not. I'm pretty sure I did. We're going to measure this out. We're going to go slightly shorter than the length of the hook on this one, because we're using a 4X. If you're using a 3, go the length of the tail slightly longer, or the length of the hook or slightly longer. So we're going to tie that in, get that secure, get it into place. There's our nice yellow for the underneath side. And then we're going to take this and just build our body up as we move forward. Take that right up to where we left off with our lead wire, and then come back, and then I'm going to go with some gold Flashabou on this one. The original pattern has crystal flash. I tend to gravitate toward the Flashabou over the crystal flash, but if you want to tie the original, it did have the gold crystal flash in it. Or like I said, if you're going with a copper cone, go ahead and switch it over and go with the copper Flashabou or crystal flash, whatever you decide to go with. So now I'm going to take this, and I've got 4 strands here. I'm going to throw this in a little bit shy of the overall length of my tail. Get those tied into place, and then we're going to bring these other ones over. Got a little bit of a wave in some of that Flashabou. And then we'll go ahead and tie this in. Have our internal flash on the tail. Give that a look at pretty good length on both sides there. It matches up pretty well. And then we're going to go with some brown Marabou over the top of our yellow for the tail. The original was an all brown tail. We're going to, like I said, we're going to deviate a little bit on this one today. I'm going to try and find a really good thick plume here. I'm not really having much luck on this pack. That one's probably my best bet right there. So I'm going to take this, and this is going to be, like I said, over the yellow. Just peel this back. And then set that over the top. Same length, if anything, the brown can be just slightly longer, but I'm going to try to keep it as close to the same length as possible. And then same as the yellow Marabou, we're just going to tie that in, secure it, and then run that forward for our body. Get over there. There we go. There we go. We've got our tail setting into place, nice full tail with the Marabou and everything. And then we're going to take some copper wire and tie this in. This is going to be our counter wrap for the Hackle. And the wind is just ridiculous out there again. It seems like we've had nothing but strong winds here for the last week and a half, 2 weeks. It's been pretty bad. But like I was saying, we're going to take that copper wire and we're just going to run that. That's going to be our counter wrap here. Take that, everything's set in how we want it. Now we're going to put our body material in. I'm going to use brown Estaz for this. If you want, you can go with a brown chenille. You can use ice dub, you can use regular dubbing, whatever you decide to use. But for this one, I'm going to go with some brown Estaz. Gives a little bit more flash to it. And then get this peeled back a little bit. Tie in just our cotton strands there. And then we're going to set this off to the side momentarily. So now what we're going to do is we're going to tie in two sets of 2 rubber legs. And with that, we're going to use, I just have some crazy legs. This is yellow with some golden black flakes to it. The original was tied with yellow round rubber legs, but I'm going to sub and put in some crazy legs here. Get them off to the side, and then I'm just going to set this back probably at about my 3/4 point back the hook, and we're going to make a figure 8, throw an X on top of that, set your legs, pull down tight with your gel spun, that locks them into place, and then we're going to move up probably to the 1/4 point, and we're going to throw in another set of 2. And then I'm going to take and set these in. And go 1, 2. Get those set into place. Manipulate them to where they're sitting on top of the hook. And 1, 2, tighten that down, and then we're going to advance to the front and wrap our Estaz. So I kind of go back and forth on this, whether I keep the legs to the length right now or I cut them. Sometimes it seems easier to cut the legs when you're wrapping the chenille around because there's less stuff that you can catch. Other times it seems easier to get around them when they're full length. You've got a little bit more to grab. It's a little bit easier to keep them out of your way. So like I said, I go back and forth as to how I do this. For this one, I'm going to keep them to length. There's 3 different times where you wind up weaving through this with your body material, your counter wrap, and then your Hackle. So we're taking this and we're buttoning it right up against the front and back of the legs. That way there's no transition there, there's no gaps or anything. I'm going to peel this back, go right in front of those legs and set those into place. Once again, we're just taking this every 3 to 4 wraps, give it an anchor. And then I'm gonna take this right up to, I got one more wrap I can get there, right up to the Conehead. And everything there is sitting how we want it. Got our rubber legs still at full length hanging down there. And then we'll tie our body material off right at the cone. So now we're going to go into the hackle portion of this one, and for this I'm going to use a saddle off this whiting patch here. You can go with, you can add like a grizzly kicker or whatever combination you want to throw in here. I'm just going to go with a straight brown on this and try and keep some of this webbing up in that first wrap or two. If I can get 2 wraps with that webbing, I'm usually pretty happy with that. It kind of fills the front out, gives you a little bit more bulk, a little bit more motion. Or if you want to go for full bulk all the way around, you can go with the schlapfen saddle or feather, and that will really fill that fly out for you. But for this one, I got a little bit of stem there I want to cut out. Just a little bit that was hanging out a little too close. So I'm just going to take this, and like I said, I got that webby fiber right there. I want to get that first wrap right in front of that cone. There we go. Nice full wrap right in front of the cone. And then we're just going to work our way back. I'm probably going to have to get hackle pliers here because my fingers want to continually catch these rubber legs. I'm probably going to have to swap over to some pliers. Once again, we're just taking this right through our legs. We're weaving through these. Yeah, my fingers want to keep catching them. And you're just making nice even wraps all the way through your rubber legs, making sure that you don't catch those. And I'm going to grab some pliers here. If I can find them on this mess of a bench. Now, there they are. There they are. Should have just grabbed them right off the bat. Would have saved me from fighting those legs a lot. Freeze a hand up and let you get through here a little bit easier. So there we go. We've got our hackle down through there. We're going to take our wire now, and this is going to be our counter wrap. And before I trim my hackle, or before I take my pliers off, I just want to get one good secure wrap on that. Now I'll take my pliers off, get those out of the way, and then same thing, we're just weaving right through our legs here, making sure that you don't catch them, don't interfere with their orientation, and then just nice smooth wraps right through here. Go up and under that set of legs, and we're good to tie this off. So we'll just take this, secure your wire, 1, 2, and grab some junk scissors here. And then we're good to whip finish. So I just want to take one good secure wrap, and then 1, 2. Yeah, let's get another one in there. Everything's pretty clean how it sets right there. And the last thing that we're going to do on this is trim our rubber legs. So I'm just going to set those, pull these down all to the bottom of the fly here, kind of gather them all together, release the tension off of that, and then just take one quick trim right across there, and your rubber legs fall out for you, and you have that nice set of, or two nice sets of 2 rubber legs on each side. And that will finish off the Autumn Splendor. Like I said, this is a great fly for streamers. One of the, it's a great pattern to get folks started on, tying and the concept of streamers, and also fishing them. It's a very good pattern. Catch a ton of fish on this. That yellow and brown combination can be just deadly. Yeah, I think I covered everything that I wanted to there. I got one rogue hair trying to fly off on me, but that is the finished product. Like I said, it's Tim Heng's Autumn Splendor. If you guys have any questions or comments, leave them with me and I'll get back to you. Thanks.